In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Clickup for project management, and I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, even if you've never used a project management tool before. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how to set up your workspace, how to organize your team, how to track every task, and how to manage your projects in a really efficient and stress-free way. Whether you're a freelancer, a content creator, running a small business, or just someone who wants to get more organized, this tutorial is going to help you a lot. So let's get started right inside. Clickup. Once you sign up for an account and you log in, you'll automatically land on your homepage. This homepage is where Clickup gives you a quick overview of everything happening: your upcoming tasks, reminders, notifications, recently opened items, and anything that needs your attention. Think of this as your control center. From here, you can access your spaces, lists, boards, and everything else that you'll build inside Clickup. Now, the very first thing you can do is create a new list or a new board. Lists are great for people who like clean vertical task layouts. Boards are perfect if you prefer a Kanban style workflow where tasks move horizontally from stage to stage. For beginners, either option works, but I personally like starting with a list because it gives you a nice organized overview. So if I click to create a new board or list, ClickUp brings me to my workspace. This is where all your project management actually happens. And right away, you'll notice that ClickUp feels somewhat similar to other platforms like Monday.com or Asana, but the biggest difference, and one of my favorite things, is that ClickUp gives you a lot more functionality for free. Things that are locked behind paid plans on other tools are included here on the free plan. Now, let's talk about the different views you can use inside ClickUp. Right now, I'm using the list view. This gives you a structured table of all your tasks. But you can also switch to the board view, which looks like sticky notes moving across columns. There's also Gantt view, timeline view, calendar view, workload view, table view, and more. As a beginner though, you only really need the list view or board view to get started. Once you get comfortable, you can explore the others to see which one fits your workflow best. Now, when you first create a list, ClickUp will automatically give you a few basic statuses like to do, in progress, and complete. These represent the stages of your workflow. However, instead of creating a bunch of separate lists labeled complete, in progress, and ready, I recommend using these statuses inside a single list. It keeps your workspace much cleaner and easier to manage over time. What I like to do is rename my list into categories based on the type of work. For example, content ideas, scripting, editing, design, uploading, client tasks, and so on. So let me go ahead and rename this example list to editing. Now, inside this list, we can start adding tasks. Let's create a task called ClickUp Project Management Video. This is the video you're watching right now, so it's a perfect example. Once the task is created, ClickUp lets you assign the task to anyone on your team. So if I had a team member named Gary, I could assign him to edit the video simply by clicking the assignee button. Right now, it's only me in this workspace, but in your actual setup, you'll see everyone you've added to your workspace. Next, we can add a due date. Let's say I want this video finished by Saturday. I select Saturday, and now the task clearly shows the deadline. This helps your team know exactly when things need to be done and avoids unnecessary back and forth communication. Then we have the priority system: urgent, high, normal, or low. This is extremely helpful if you're juggling multiple tasks or working with team members who need clarity on what to focus on first. If I need this video edited as soon as possible, I'll mark it as urgent. After that, we have statuses. Statuses show progress. If Gary is working on the video, he changes the status to in progress. Once he's done, he sets it to complete. If he gets stuck or needs something, he could change it to blocked or needs review, depending on how we set it up. This makes it easy for everyone, including you, to see exactly where each task stands without chasing people for updates. Another powerful feature in ClickUp is custom fields. If you click the plus icon, you'll see dozens of options. You can add things like budget fields, phone numbers, website links, checkboxes, ratings, tags, drop-down menus, progress bars, and even embed items. This lets you customize your workspace to track anything important to your workflow. For example, if you run a content creation business, you could create fields for video length, platform, upload date, or thumbnail status. If you're running an agency, you could add fields for client name, contract type, or payment status. ClickUp also allows you to group tasks, filter tasks, sort them, and save views depending on how you want your projects displayed. This becomes really useful if you're managing many projects at once or have a bigger team. Now let's go deeper inside a task. When I click on the task, it opens a detailed view. Inside here, you can add a description. This is where you can explain exactly what needs to be done. For example, I could write instructions for editing the video, mention the video style, add links to assets, or provide notes that help the editor. Below that, you can add subtasks. This is one of the most powerful parts of ClickUp. If your main task is edit the video, subtasks might include things like edit intro, fix transitions, add captions, adjust audio, color grading, final export, and upload to Drive. Each subtask can have its own assignee, due date, and status, making everything extremely organized. Team members can also leave comments, attach files, upload documents, add screenshots, and communicate directly inside the task. Instead of switching between messaging apps, email threads, and other tools, everything stays inside ClickUp. Another useful feature is checklists. These are smaller than subtasks and are perfect for tiny steps that don't need full subtasks. For example, inside the video editing task, a checklist could include things like trim pauses, boost audio, add background music, export 1080p version, and so on. Now, as your task list grows, things can get overwhelming, but ClickUp helps you stay organized with filters and grouping. You can group tasks by their assignee, by their status, by priority, by due date, or by any custom field you've added. This keeps your project easy to understand at a glance. Now, let's talk about teams. If you're working with multiple people, you can invite everyone to your ClickUp workspace through email. Once they join, you can assign tasks, give permissions, share boards, and create separate spaces for different departments or projects. For example, you could have separate spaces for content, clients, operations, admin, and personal tasks. ClickUp lets you control who can access what, so sensitive information stays protected. ClickUp also has automation features. On the free plan, you get a limited number of automations, but they're still incredibly helpful. Automations can do things like move tasks to the next status when you change a field, send reminders when deadlines are close, or assign tasks automatically when they're created. This can save a lot of manual work as your team grows. So here's what I recommend for most beginners. Start simple. Create one board for your team. Add all your members. Create your workflow columns or statuses. Then start listing all the tasks that need to get done. Task 1, Task 2, Task 3, Task 4, and so on. Assign each task, set deadlines, choose priority levels, add descriptions, and build subtasks where needed. This is the simplest structure, and it's more than enough to manage most projects smoothly. As you get comfortable, you can start adding custom fields, automations, multiple spaces, dashboards, and more advanced features. ClickUp is powerful enough to grow with your business, but flexible enough to keep things simple when you're just starting out. So that's a full breakdown of how you can use ClickUp for project management. It's one of the best tools out there, especially for beginners and small teams, because the free plan gives you so much. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, make sure to leave a like. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll help you out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy ClickUp using.